Hola amigos, welcome back to another episode of The Talking Mexican. As always, let me begin by giving God all the glory through His Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. How's everyone doing today? Great, me too. Okay, what am I talking about today? The title of today's episode, which is number 42 on the year for those of you keeping track, is All That I Am. What do I mean by the statement, all that I am? Let me attempt to explain what I mean. Recently, I was watching the 35th anniversary edition of E.T. the Extraterrestrial, 1982, Steven Spielberg. As I listened to a couple of short interviews with Spielberg talking about the film, I remember thinking to myself, has it truly been 35 years since that film came out? Wow, I was only 20 years old at the time. Now, here is where All That I Am comes into play. In 1982, I was just 2 years removed from dropping out of high school. That happened in February 1980 with only 6 credits needed to graduate. Could I have acted any more stupidly? Unfortunately, the answer would be yes, many times over since that day. Not only did I drop out of high school, I was also back home living with my parents and unemployed. I was also married, separated, and divorced, in addition to having entered and been asked to leave a religious order located in Overland, Missouri, by the time E.T. debuted on the big screen. Nothing to be proud of, I assure you, and it would only get worse before it got better. Now, fast forward 35 years later to 2017, and I find myself no better off today, graduate school aside, than I was in 1982. Or am I? Everything I attempted to accomplish since 1982 has ended in failure. Twice married, both ending in divorce. Several startup businesses that never got off the ground. Thrice rejected from religious communities. Never meeting my career goal of climbing the corporate ladder. Losing the only home I ever purchased. Not having a single cent saved for all the years I have worked. Think about that. Not a single penny. Losing my dream job on 3 separate occasions. 24 years later, and I have yet to speak professionally on a regular basis on the big stage to an audience eager to learn, and the list goes on. So, here I am, 55 years old, no better off than I was when I was 20 years old, wondering to myself, is this all that I am? Is this all I will be? Will this be the legacy I leave behind to my children upon my death? Then it hit me as I was watching the 35th anniversary edition of E.T. What if where I am and who I am at this very moment is all I will ever be? Never speaking professionally, barely getting by, still working mediocre jobs, if not unemployed, no money saved, in debt up to my eyeballs, no one listening to this show, forced to move back to California or live on the street because something unexpected happens, God forbid, to Mr. Man with everything going to his children. How would I truly feel about being in that situation? About not being better off than I was 35 years ago? If you had asked me this question a little more than 2 months or so ago, I would have said, not very well at all. Who wants to die in debt and never having really accomplished anything? However, since the question is being asked while in my current state of grace, I would have to say, I am okay with dying relatively unknown. If I never speak to another audience again, so be it. God's will be done. If I die poor or homeless or without ever having made my mark in life, changed the world, published a book that made the best-selling list, acted in a play or movie, etc., so be it. Again, God's will be done. The only regret I would have is dying with any unpaid debt, not having taken care of my pre-needs prior to my death, or not being in God's grace at the time of my death. Those 3 items, especially the last, I cannot abide with. Does this mean that I believe my current state will be all that I am? all that I will become, which essentially is nothing? No, I do not believe that at all. Despite my track record over these past 55 years, I believe the best is yet to come. I believe that Jesus will restore me to my rightful place and that He will keep His promise made to me. I will be a light to His people and they will return to Him. I will become a successful, motivational, inspirational, professional speaker, blogger, educator, and of course, the Talking Mexican. And like E.T. pointing to Elliot at the end of the film, lighting the way with his finger, Jesus is pointing himself toward us and lighting the way with his entire being as he repeats repeatedly, "I'll be right here." That's it for today's Talking Mexican. Remember to begin each day by acknowledging God in addition to sharing a smile, laugh, touch, and you know what? That's right, a hug. Love with all your heart, pray for peace. Like us on Facebook and YouTube, won't you? Don't forget to leave your comments, share us with your friends and family, and God willing, I will talk to you again soon. Adios.